Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. I'd like to welcome guys to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about the lead up in the Spider-Man series to Civil War. How we sort of got to the point where Spider-Man ended up unmasking part of the whole thing of the registration to show that all heroes have to register with the government and his total alignment with Tony Stark at the time. So the thing is, at least for me, they do a good job building up the relationship between Spider-Man and Tony Stark. It feels more adept that Spider-Man would establish this relationship with Reed Richards. But during a while, Spider-Man was running with the Avengers. He was living in Avengers Tower. He was sort of comfortable by that time that everyone knew his secret identity. His wife lived there, his Aunt May too. So there's a level of protection for them because he always kept a secret identity because of the danger. If they were being attacked, they would be attacked by some villain. But in the Avengers Tower, there was more security, even though they were attacked by the Chameleon and then by a couple other villains. I can't remember, but talking about comic books, they have to keep things interesting. But what happens is Tony wants to give Spider-Man an upgrade, get the Iron Spider costume that, at least for me, was really awesome. And sort of the costume, even though the design is different, that's the costume that we get in the MCU. So Spider-Man takes his new costume for a spin. I love this design. It looks so awesome. And obviously he has a ton of more gadgets. He has AI within the suit. He can glide. He's got the arms too. This armor protects him much better, so he's pretty happy with the new suit. And Tony, he's pretty well written. Like, he works as pretty much a father figure. He gives Spider-Man a lot of validation. He tells him, "Hey, bro, you have a lot of potential. You're super smart, but you're gonna have to go with me. We have some hearings in Washington. There's a new law that the government wants to pass, the Superhero Registration Act. We have to stop this act from taking hold or to be able to modify it in the first place." So Spidey and Tony go to Washington when Titanium Man drops in on the hearings to attack Tony Stark. And here we get the whole argument of the importance of heroes and their secret identities and the damage that they cause to society. But Tony tells him, like, every time we do have collateral damage or we level half a city, we save the world 10 times. So we do have that debate. It's not super mega deep, but there are a couple of good ideas that are presented to us here. So Spider-Man goes up against Titanium Man. And what this issue really wants to show is that Spidey can go up against stronger villains now because Titanium Man is crazy powerful. So he's able to stop the bad guy. But at the end of the story, we discover that Tony actually was the one that contracted Titanium Man. He wanted to put on the spectacle. It's like one of the few times during this, the whole Civil War and the registration, where Tony comes off a little bit too on the evil side, or he's not straight up evil. Like, he's never. Also in the pages of Frontline, like he does some messed up stuff. Because in general, over the years, I was like, when I read the Civil War, which I did like, I found it entertaining. I liked some of the questions that are opened in that story. I was Team Cap, and now that I'm older, I'm like super on Iron Man's side now. So everything that we got after the Civil War, the registration and all that, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And like, the Avengers Initiative series was freaking awesome. So Titanium Man gets the money from Tony and tells him, it's like, be careful. Russia turned on its heroes. You have to nip this Superhero Registration Act on the bud because they're going to come after you sooner or later. So try to, if you can't stop the law, try to go in your favor. And then in the last issue, actually, I'm going to put in the issues in the description below because I think we get various Spider-Man series here. It's not just Amazing Spider-Man. We get the whole situation after the New Warriors, their battle with the villains. They explode a school, ton of kids, and there's a ton of collateral damage. Now the government's after all the heroes. we get the whole Superhero Registration Act. But Tony tells Peter, is like, you're going to have to register with the government. They're going to have to know your identity. So Peter doesn't take this lightly. He goes to his family. They go back and forth. But this whole situation, at least for me, it doesn't feel written, maybe a little bit abrupt, this part, but they do a good job. The setup is better than what I've seen with other crossover setups. But the thing is, at the end of the story, Spider-Man decides to go public, show off his identity, and show his endorsement of the Superhero Registration Act. He thinks it's the right thing to do. Again, they took, ever since Spidey became an Avenger, I thought it makes a logical, it feels logical the direction that they went with Spidey during this time, even though a lot of bad stuff, and especially One More Day happens after that. But Back in Black was pretty good. It felt all logical, and I liked it. So I hope you guys like this. See you guys next time. Bye.